Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are celebrating MK and her 1,000 subscribers. So this is really exciting, you guys. And I am going to scrap lift this layout of hers. It's actually more than one page, but I really like this page of it. So that is the one I'm going to scrap lift. So let's see what I can do. Now, the first thing I did with my white cardstock was to get my IKEA cardboard box that I use to kind of play around with the mixed media. And I think that the paper she used was a pre-printed paper. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't research it. I just scrolled through MK's Instagram and this one really caught my eye. Now I am taking a variety of mists to go ahead and kind of copy that mixed media look that she has going on here. And I say copy in the very loosest sense of the word because the copy is not truly a copy. Even though I use a box for this, the edges of the box only go up maybe 2 inches. So if you're getting crazy with your splatters and your spraying, you're still going to go ahead and get stuff outside of your box. I'm looking right now on my desk and I have a little piece of chipboard that was just sitting out and it has a little green dot on it now. So I am taking the sprays and kind of placing them on just some trash, basically. It's packaging. And I'm not adding any water. I'm not watering it down to like dilute the color. Basically, what you see is what you get. Now, I also did not gesso this page. So what that means is that the ink is sinking down into the paper. If I would have put gesso on top of this page, the ink would have pulled on the top and you could have moved it around if you didn't exactly like where your splatches and splatters went. Splatches and splatters. I think that should have been splotches and splatters. Whatever. Whatever your little heart desires that you're calling this mess. So, like I said, the gesso would allow you to play around a little bit more on top of the paper, but honestly, guys, unless there is a particular reason why I want to use gesso on the top of a layout, it's not happening. I am more of a let's get this on the page, let's make some fun things happen for my layout and move on to the next one. Because that is what makes me happy. I don't mind waiting for mixed media to dry. Because usually what I'll do is do a mixed media page, set it off to the side, and then scrapbook another layout, and then go back to the mixed media. But I don't want to have to wait for gesso to dry, and then wait for more to dry, and wait for more. Like, that just is not a fun time for me. It's just not. So I actually took the nozzle and kind of wiped down to get a little bit of a different effect on the paper. So I have kind of like straight messy lines going on here. Now I have these 3 photos from Star Wars Land, and I'm just trimming them down into smaller sizes. Now my photos did not make it down to be as small as MK's, so that means my layout kind of changes. And that's okay. I'm completely happy with the layout. But I did take inspiration from her colors for sure. So she had this really cool, I don't know, maybe it was a 3x4 card, kind of layered underneath of one of her photos, and I wanted to kind of replicate that. So I went ahead and found this little polka dot card. And I'm actually really excited because I ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pocket cards on this page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. So that's awesome. Super awesome. Because as you guys know, I'm trying to work my way through those cards. So I am going to overlap my photo with this pocket card that says, "This makes me smile." And already I've got the little touch of orange that is going on this layout. Now, I did have a moment where I thought about bringing in some orange in the background, but I decided I'd rather just like the little pops of orange throughout the page instead of incorporating it into the mixed media. So this card, I'm just going to use the little top of it that says document it, but I'm not going to cut it apart because, I'm trying to use up the cards. So I am going to put it at just an ever so slight little angle. And then I'm going to go ahead and start placing this stuff down on my page. Now, I did use a wood grain washi tape right here, and it is the only place that I put the wood grain washi tape. It's at the bottom of the page, and I kind of did that because the layout kind of feels like it's just like wha-bam slapped on the white page. And I know that that might sound weird. It sounds weird when I'm saying it, but it makes sense in my head. It's how I feel that the layout is looking. And then I went and pulled this really cool kind of solar system-y type paper and then promptly covered up every single little piece of the solar system. So I probably could have found another blue sheet of paper to do this with, but I liked the color blue. It was a good match for what I wanted. So I just went ahead and went with it. And it does give me a pretty thick border around that photo. Now, I also really liked this kind of chevron paper right here, and I wasn't really thinking when I cut it, and I kind of mismeasured. For some reason, I was thinking a different size in my head than the actual photo. So I just decided to flip it on its side so that the chevron is going vertically instead of horizontally. Now, you want to know a little secret? So every time I have a split-second thing in my mind whenever I'm thinking horizontal or vertically, and I know that when I was in grade school, like elementary school, they would tell you that horizontal, you remember horizontal is like lengthwise instead of up and down because the horizon is lengthwise. But my mind doesn't think that way. So when I think horizontal and vertical, the first thing that pops into my mind are vertical blinds. And that is how I always remember that vertical is up and down. Now, you might be thinking you're a maniac that you even have to remember that. That is just something that you should know, like 1 + 1 = 2. Like, you don't have to think about that. But there's always that split second in my brain where I think vertical blinds before I say either vertical or horizontal. And it's not a conscious effort. Like, I'm not thinking, okay, I got to think about the blinds. It just pops in there. It's just weird stuff. But, it's a weird random fact. So anyway, moving on. Now I'm going to find the little fun bits and bobs like MK does in her layouts and her things, but usually she puts her I won't say usually. Sometimes she puts her embellishments together beforehand, but this time I'm just kind of layering up and I'm trying to channel my inner MK to make this layout happen. Now, I did end up pulling out this rainbow planner sticker book, and you might be thinking, what do you need a rainbow sticker book for when you're playing with blues and greens and little pops of oranges? But there are single colors in the sticker book as well, and I found a good amount of them to play with. So I have hearts and labels and arrows and just good colorful bits that are going on this layout. Like this little circle says happy. So I just layered it up there on those 2 3x4 cards. That way I'm getting the pop of orange over here on this photo as well, and it's not just going to be in one place. Now for this one, I just layered a label sticker with those hearts, with that heart sticker, I should say. And then I have these kind of clear stickers that are basically like a pre-made paint swipe. It's basically pre-made mixed media that you put on your layouts. So I went ahead and added that to the layout as well. And I think once the layout is finished, it doesn't scream, there's clear stickers here. It just kind of blends in. Now I did take that green one and place it behind the noted card, just because I want it to kind of kind of darken that a little bit so that you could more clearly read it. So there is a little white spot on the bottom of the N, but I'm not terribly worried about that. Now I also found these Bella Boulevard enamel shapes, that's a P, shapes, and I don't know, these things are older than dirt, I think, and I get to use a bunch of them up. And they are kind of like a neon, they're not like a, they're like a neon funky green. I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost neon. It's not like bright neon, but it is there. And then I just go ahead and find some thickers that are in a very similar green color. Now, if you ever wanted to know, will foam thickers ever lose their stick? Yes, they will. So these thickers, I honestly have no idea how old they are, because they do not say. They are daiquiri, and they're back from when American Crafts did Remarks. And I think I still have some Remarks rub-ons from them as well. So there's no date. No date whatsoever. But they're foam and they lost their stick. So apparently American Crafts stickers losing their stick is not a new problem, you guys. It's been around forever. Now this does make me a little nervous because, you know, I don't always re-glue my foam thickers down because they seem to stick to my page. But this time I definitely had to bring out the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And yes, this is a brand new bottle. I actually had to go and get it for this layout. Love this stuff so much. I had mentioned in another video that I had ordered it for the shop, but it was on back order, but then I got a shipping notice, but then I got another notice that it was on back order and it didn't ship. So if you've got it, use it sparingly because it's on back order everywhere. Anyway, guys, there is the layout. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you click on everybody's link down below, and make sure definitely you go over to MK's channel because she will tell you all about the giveaway she is holding. I will see you guys again real soon for another video.